What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man, from E-Man's Movie Reviews. In my last episode of the recap, I mentioned that I had some slight concerns when it came to the Black Widow movie. Now, despite the whole quarantine, lockdown stuff, that's not really what I'm worried about with this movie. What does have me concerned is more or less the overall plot of the film. So if you want to avoid any potential spoilers, now's the time for you to click off of this video, maybe go check out my other theory video if you like. Anyway, that's your warning, so without further ado, let's begin. Now, I'll admit, I'm probably setting myself up with high expectations because I'm kind of comparing Black Widow to the likes of Captain America Winter Soldier. And no, I am not saying that Black Widow is going to be as epic as Captain America Winter Soldier, but I do believe that it should carry a very familiar feel or vibe given the spy thriller genre that both movies share. So to me, that means that Black Widow should have, let's just say, the similar potential to deliver on some compelling plot twists and surprises. So that leads me to 3 plot points that I think would under-deliver if they end up being true in the Black Widow movie. And all 3 of these plot points center around 3 characters in the film. First up will be the character of Molina. Now, for those of you unfamiliar, Rachel Weisz will be playing the character of Molina, who in the comics, her character is known as the Iron Maiden. Obviously, Marvel could change her story, but given how coy Rachel Weisz has been in recent interviews about her character, odds are that she's going to have something up her sleeve in some way, shape, or form. I don't think she'll be the major villain or anything like that. However, in the comics, she's always been jealous of Natasha, and they have had their feuds. So my guess is that she's going to turn on Natasha in some way. My concern here is that if Marvel goes this route, we've already seen this happen with the Winter Soldier, who was later revealed to be Bucky Barnes. Granted, I do know that even the Bucky reveal might have been a surprise to non-comic book fans, but I was just kind of hoping that Marvel would find a creative way to unravel this twist that would be satisfying for both comic fans and casual moviegoers. The second character that's got me a little bit worried is, well, Taskmaster. Now, this is the major one that's really gotten a lot of people talking and making a huge fuss about. You've probably at least read 1 or 2 articles or watched some YouTube videos about Taskmaster's secret identity. In my own theory video, I offered a couple of different options that leaned on the possibility of Taskmaster being a woman and much more than that. In that same video, I mentioned how Marvel could go in a very safe route and make Taskmaster really end up being the character of Mason, played by O.T. Fag Benlay. The reason why I think this would be too safe is because, again, this would seem a bit overly obvious. This would be the first time Mason is debuted in the MCU, and it just so happens to be the first time Taskmaster debuts too. And supposedly Mason and Natasha were romantically involved in the past, so it would just feel a little bit, superficial if he were to happen to play the scorned lover as Taskmaster. Call me biased if you like, but I think it would be much more compelling if Taskmaster's real identity had a bit more weight to it, kind of like being part of the red in Natasha's ledger, rather than just being some random ex-boyfriend. So if Marvel does keep his identity that superficial, that I think is a little worrisome. Anyway, last but not least, the other character that's got me a little bit worried is General Thunderbolt Ross. I'm really hoping that he's not the main person in charge. Don't get me wrong, it totally makes sense that he would be after Natasha given the events that transpired after Civil War. When Black Widow allowed Captain America to escape, she betrayed the government, and General Ross would more than likely be the one tasked to bringing her in. And for that very reason, I'm hoping this isn't the major plot twist of the movie. Remember how I compared the Black Widow movie to the Captain America Winter Soldier film? You know, one of the things that made the Winter Soldier movie so epic? It was the fact that there was a minor twist with Bucky being the Winter Soldier, but also the major surprise of Hydra secretly taking over S.H.I.E.L.D. for years. Not only did that surprise come out of nowhere, it was completely believable, and it added some depth to the character of Steve Rogers and the overall makeup of the MCU at large. If General Ross ends up being the main player who, let's just say he hires Taskmaster to go after Natasha, And if he ends up being this movie's version of the Hydra twist that we saw in Winter Soldier, then I think that'll be pretty underwhelming. I'm just not sure how shocking that would necessarily be for audiences. As far as the impact for the MCU going forward, I do believe that the Black Widow movie will be used to set up or drop the clues for the Thunderbolts. And if you are unaware, think of the Thunderbolts as the Suicide Squad version within the MCU. They're a bunch of anti-heroes and sometimes straight up villains put together to go on missions. The leading rumor out there right now is that General Ross will be the one doing his best Nick Fury impression and collect these anti-heroes for his causes. Don't be surprised if that ends up being the case with Zemo and Bucky joining forces in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series premiering on Disney+. Anyway, those are my top concerns with the Black Widow movie. And I know I might be setting myself up by having way too high expectations, but I'm kind of basing that on past interviews from Kevin Feige and other cast members and the overall track record of the MCU. I like to believe that Marvel can always, add to what they've done before rather than just repeating and doing the same thing or worse. So, because of that, I'm expecting that Black Widow delivers a compelling revelation of information that not only impacts and elevates the character of Natasha, but also provides us a great jumpstart, as this film will be the very first in Phase 4 of the MCU. I'm also hoping that it gives us some interesting insight about what pushed Natasha over the edge in Avengers Endgame. No pun intended. Either way, it really doesn't matter about these concerns because I'm still excited to go see Black Widow. I still believe that Marvel's going to put out a pretty good product. Now, I don't think that this movie's going to be as epic as Captain America Winter Soldier, but I do think that it will be entertaining at the very least. So, what do you all think? Do you share any of these concerns, or do you happen to have any different thoughts about the Black Widow movie? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.